Yeah. You see all of these screens around me? Whether it's my phones, whether it's these old ancient TVs that we got now. These things are called distractions. Now they don't have to be, it depends on how you interact with them, right? A TV with a documentary on it to where you're learning a lesson about history, to where you never go back into that place that causes either those issues in history, or you're learning on something so that you can evolve upon those principles that you learned that someone else have already done before you. Now these are intelligent ways to utilize these devices. It was once said that anything that can be used for power will be used for power. So when the TV became one of the most effective models, right, of capturing attention, then of course, that's when they start putting in these subliminal messaging, right? That's when the military started to utilize it. That's when they figured out this could be our most effective tool for power and manipulation. The same thing happened with this beautiful thing that's called a cell phone. It's not like the phone of the 80s and the 90s, because back in those days, all you did utilize it for was two-way communication. Now, in your pocket, you have the ability to be distracted 24/7, or you have the ability to execute 24/7. You have within your grasp the single most powerful instrument that has ever been made and given to people, right, so that they can have unlimited access to it. And all you have to do for the most part is pay a monthly fee. Now the question becomes is how come everybody is not utilizing these tools the same way? Also, what are the effects of these tools? Just staring at them, just constantly using them, the screen time, right? The artificial light that we engage with. How is that affecting our brains as human beings when we're talking about having optimal function, right? And then how is it affecting our influence? When you engage in content, the content is thinking for you. You're not thinking. Here you've been sitting, scrolling for 10 minutes straight, looking at opinions, looking at a thread of news, looking at a thread of triggering things about politics that have nothing to do with your immediate circumstances. But when it's time for you to make a decision, because the last information that was embedded onto your consciousness were things that were irrelevant to you, you're going to make a terrible decision because you're not coming from a well-informed place that's at the prefrontal cortex of your mind. So now the question becomes to you, what is your social dilemma? You've seen it on Netflix, right? But we continue to engage in those things that we learned had an algorithm to make sure that they capture our attention. Me personally, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a tool, right? Everything is a tool, depends on how you use it. Now the reason we decided to create solution-based products, because I don't care if something is black owned, if it is not good for black people. You can create black junk food, right, that's black owned. You can create a black plan for manipulation and distraction of the masses. That's black owned, right? You can create black liquor, black owned, but is it something we should be spending our money on consistently, engaging in? You can create all of these things that are black owned, but are not righteous, or they're not good for us. Now I know people can say, well, that's relative, what's good and what's bad. Well, one thing that I can always say, if it affects the next generation negatively, then it goes into my book of bad. Now, every time I create a product, I think about how can I create a product that communicates a problem, but creates a solution. Now, the opportunity of doing this is basically saying like, okay, let's create smart moss. But then when I create smart moss, I want people to understand that over time, your neuroplasticity is changing. And the way you have to stimulate your brain changes as well. So now I'm creating conversation, but as I'm creating conversation, engaging with you, the problem, I also have a solution right here. Now, this is a business model, right? This is something that you should probably take and utilize yourself. Every problem is a business if you can solve that problem. What is the point of being educated on all the issues if you have no ways of solving and eliminating those issues in the first place? Why do you see so many black men being successful and black women being successful on things that have plagued our community so much? Because we have been given the blueprint on the issues for so long. So when we got access to technology, we got access to phones, we got access to new networks and things that we never had privilege to, we decided that The thing that I know the most is the problem, so the thing I'm learning is the solution. And I'm going to apply this solution in context to the problems that I've been educated on through experience my whole entire life. So now you're seeing a beautiful reduction of the issues from those who decide to dedicate their lives in a positive manner. Now, if you make this built into your business model, you become one of them young, rich black guys. Now, when we're talking about young, we're talking about your youth. We're talking about how you feel, the energy that you put into things, not your age. Nobody cares. When we're talking about rich, we're talking about knowledge of self. When we're talking about God, we're talking about that good you do, that force and power that you have. Your ability to take thoughts out your mind and bring them into reality. Now, is that type of entrepreneurship that you engaged in? Is that the way that you use your platform? Are those the conversations that you have when you're around friends and when you're around family? Now, we can spend our lives doing whatever we want to, but what we do will affect all those that come from us and come after us. And the responsibility of the current generation is to make the next one better. So as you think about putting together your business models, what place are you doing it from? What factors, what problems are you solving? And then I want you to think of doing it at the highest level possible. See, the most important things in the black community are things that we take for granted. We take consciousness, we take knowledge, we take health, we take a multitude of different things for granted. We take them as luxuries, right? So why not design your business model in a luxury manner? See, when I was working for them crackers, I decided to take their information, use it for self, and learn how to build luxury models because our people have this aspirational mindset. We want things that's not truly made for us. So if I make something at a higher level and it feels like it increases your social value to have it, not only are you getting what you feel, but you're also getting that social value at the same time. I know, clever, right? Manipulation is finding a clever way to get things done. So it's manipulation, right? Because guess what? It's hard to lead our people in the right direction. It's easy to lead them in the wrong, right? When we see things that work for J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar in the rap game, and they at the top, how come that's not duplicated and all the other rappers say that, ooh, that's a model that I want to emulate? Well, that would be the right direction. Wrong direction is easy. Let me just make a melody, throw on the beat, have a minimum viable product, meaning you strip away all the necessities, right? And you just throw in a melody and you know that you can sell that. Now listen, you can do whatever you want to with your life. We all trying to get out the hood and we're trying to get out the positions that we currently in. But at some point in time, you got to take responsibility from going past trying to survive and utilizing that as your mechanism of excuse and saying, I'm now thriving, so let me do things better. Let me do things right. And let me tell you the more dangerous thing about this. That you get caught there because your fan base, your core, gonna keep you there. Because if you switch up now, they feel like you're turning on. But see, this comes from a scarce mindset. And a scarce mindset, you think that it's not enough. Not realizing that when we start to move with abundance, we have all of the time, we have all of the energy, we have all of the resources in the world. You have only captured a small niche of your audience in the first place. There's more people that will find value in the things that you do because they've already found value in somebody else doing it at a high level, right? As entrepreneurs, as we continue to embark upon this journey of wealth building, let's do it, right? I'm all for it. Splurge your assets, right? Show them off if that's what you need to do for that sense of validation. Show them off if that's what you need to do to get our people to aspire to go in the right direction, which is under your influence, so that they can follow the tools that you have that can help them better their life. But do not become the tools. Do not become the materialism. They're just tools for you to use. Now, I know some people, they get mad. They say, Big Keys, man, sometimes when you talk, you offend me because you come with so much tough love. You get straight to the point, right? You didn't navigate the sea of my emotions. You just came like a pirate. And to that, that's exactly what we need. See, the reason you think about that and you so offended because it goes against your comfort zone, right? And I always say, if you're not comfortable, change positions. The truth should make you comfortable unless you live in a falsehood. And you surrounded yourself with things that are false. So I want you past your comfort zone. Am I trying to kill you? Am I trying to poison you? Am I trying to harm you? Absolutely not. Investigate my motives. Investigate my intentions. Investigate yourself. Figure out, are you doing those things 100% the right way that you could? Now listen, if you're listening to this broadcast and you got this far in it, you obviously the type of person that want to do better in life. You obviously the type of person that want to tap into a higher stream of thinking. Find your level of comfortability and then start to adjust. Get ahead of the curve and then start to improve upon your business model. Listen, we have no saviors besides the times that we become the saviors that we need. And when that becomes an inner level of execution, then there's an outer reflection of a completely different reality. Tap into your higher mind. This has been a Goldwater Smart Moms production. Make sure you repair those brain cells so you can continue to learn. So when you learn, you earn.